Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on page 97 of our student journal. And our objective today, I already had started writing it, is today I will use repeated addition to solve multiplication problems. So we are starting our brand new unit, and this unit is going to be about learning our multiplication tables. So this is going to be one of the strategies. It's called repeated addition. So let's look at our vocabulary. Okay, our first vocabulary is they're just reminding us of some multiplication words. So here's an equation, 4 times 3 equals 12. The two numbers that are being multiplied are called factors. And the product is your answer. So the product is what we call our answer, or sometimes we call it our solution. But a product is just for multiplication. So it's just a multiplication answer or solution. Okay. So repeated addition, and I'll be showing you what the steps for this and how this is. It means what I have here is I have 4 groups of 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3, and then I can add them. Okay, now here it's called a multiplication sentence. 4 times 3 is 12, and they also let you know that you could switch them. 3 times 4 is also 12. So in multiplication, you could always switch your two factors and you'll get the same answer. So we could put another example. We could say 2 times 5, which some of you might know that if you think about money. 2 $5 bills is 10, and 5 times 2 is also 10. So your factors could be switched. Okay, our next word says a pattern. It's a sequence of numbers that follows a rule. This is big, persevere. Persevere means never give up trying to solve. Sometimes these are going to seem like they're taking a long time, especially because you're just starting to learn about multiplication. You need to just push through and keep trying. And then a strategy is a way to solve. So this is just one way that you could solve multiplication facts. You'll be learning some other strategies, and some other way that a lot of people end up is they just memorize them later. Okay, so our steps are we're going to read the equation using the phrase blank groups of blank. So for example, this would be 4 groups of 3. So that's what we're going to say. The first factor equals the number of blank lines. Write the second factor on each blank line, write the addition symbols, create a model if needed, and solve for the sum. So I'm going to be following those steps almost exactly, ladies and gentlemen. So as I'm working on mine, you might want to follow along with me, and then when we're working together, we're going to use those steps. Okay, so I'm going to get started on my first example. And here it is. It says, use repeated addition to solve, and I have 6 times 4 equals blank. Okay, so my first step says I'm going to use that phrase. So this means 6 groups of 4. That's what I have, 6 groups of 4. So the 6 is how many spots I'm going to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This factor is what I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 4. And I'm going to be adding those. Okay, if that's too much to add, I could try adding those and say I have 4 plus 4 more is 8, plus 4 more is 12, plus 4 more is 16, plus 4 more is 20, plus 4 more is 24. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a lot older and I've done this for a long time, so that I'm able to do. If that seems hard for you, you could also make a model. So I have 6 groups and I have 4 in each. So I'm going to count and draw 4 in each. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So making your actual groups and counting might help you as well. Excuse me. Okay, let's look at my next one. A tricycle has 3 wheels. How many wheels do 4 tricycles have altogether? Use repeated addition and then write a multiplication problem. Okay, so what is this asking us? Even though they put the 3 first, this is really saying if I had 4 tricycles and they each have 3 wheels. So really what this is saying is 4 tricycles with 3 wheels each. So I would write my multiplication equation like this. So 4 tricycles and they each have 3 wheels. Okay, so this means I have 4 groups of 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3. So 4 groups of 3. So I could do my model to help me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4 groups of 3. Each of these represents one of my tricycles pretty much. That's what I could call that, is each of those represents one of the tricycles. Okay, so 4 groups of 3. Now it says, what pattern do I notice? Well, on both of them, we could say the first factor tells how many groups I have, because I saw that in both my problems. So this is my 6 was my first factor, and it means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups. And here my 4 was my first factor, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. So the first factor tells how many groups I have. The second factor tells how many are in each group. Period. Okay, so let's try some of these together, ladies and gentlemen. We are on page 98. You can grab your pencil and join me on page 98. And here's our first problem. It says, use repeated addition to solve. Okay, so let's look at those steps that we had. Remember, those steps that we had are what we're going to use to follow. So our first step says that we're going to read the equation using the phrase 3 groups of 7. 3 groups of 7. So then the first factor tells how many blank lines. 1, 2, 3. And then the second factor is what goes on our blank lines. And then we add our addition signs. So we have 3 groups of 7. Now, I think we're going to definitely use our model here. We might have to draw neatly though. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 3 groups of 7 would be 21. And notice when I did my dots, I tried to do them in pairs of 2 and then I left the odd one out. So that would be our answer. 21 is 3 groups of 7. Okay, let's try another one. This one says, a spider has 8 legs. How many legs do 3 spiders have all together? Use repeated addition and then write a multiplication equation. Okay, so even though the 8 comes first in our story problem, that's not what we're multiplying. We have 3 spiders and they each have 8 legs. So I would put our 3 here. So 3 spiders and they each have 8 legs, which means I have 3 groups of 8. Ready? So 3 groups of 8. And that kind of represents our spider 1, spider 2 with 8 legs, and spider 3 with 8 legs. Okay, so let's actually draw these. These will represent our spiders. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So our answer is 24 would be our 3 spiders, each with 8 legs. Okay, what pattern do we notice? Our pattern is going to be the same that I had written. The first factor tells how many groups there are, and the second factor tells how many in each group. Period. So the first factor said there's 3 groups, and the second factor said there's 8 in each group. And that's the pattern that we're going to always see when we use this repeated addition. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you have some problems to try on your own, and remember, use these as an example and definitely use your steps. Have a good day.